Hey everyone, it's Gareth. I'm standing here at the head office of Uturn in 2nd Avenue, Kenilworth. It's a lot closer to home than you realized. St. James has had a long-standing relationship with Uturn as an organization, and I'm here to chat to Jean-Ray Knighton-Fit, the new director of Uturn, chatting a little bit about who he is, what Uturn does, how COVID has impacted them, and how we as a local church can continue loving and supporting them. So come with me as we get to know Jean a little bit better.
Hi, I'm Jean-Ray Knighton-Fit. I've been involved in non-profit work now for 21 years, so in various different organizations. Started in Cape Town, born and bred here in Cape Town, and then I've been up in KZN for the last 14 years working up there. I also a pastor, I'm a Baptist minister, so I've also worn that hat at different times. And I guess my interest in Uturn goes back to when I first worked with Colleen Lewis, who was the founder of Uturn. We worked on a joint project back in 2004, 2005. Had a couple of meetings with Sam, former director, over the years when I was up in Durban. And then when the position came up, I'd actually just left CAST, the organization I'd started there and had been leading. And so it was kind of perfect timing for me, in many ways a perfect match. And the board appointed me, so it was exciting, and it's a new chapter. I'm looking forward to it. What's particularly unique about Uturn's approach is we take people right from the gutter, as it were, people who are right in their most destitute space on the street, and we walk this journey with them right to the point of sobriety, stability, employment, long-term accommodation. So it's not just a shelter or just a soup and bread. It's this long journey. Very Christian organization, so very centered around, let's say, gospel-driven approaches or kingdom-driven approaches, along with a therapeutic approach. So we employ occupational therapists, social workers, etc. Very deliberate in that journey of recovery, rehabilitation in all forms. Initially, corresponding to the whole lockdown, the economic crisis and all of that of lockdown, we had increasing donations, which was really good. We sort of did a nice little hump there, but it was necessary because of the increased need. So we were able to scale up the services we were offering quite significantly. That began to tail off towards the end of 2020. Beginning of 2021, which again was common to most NGOs like us in the sector, and it's as the economic crisis really bit, but the problem continues to increase. So the financial need continues to be greater, but we are a bigger team than we were. We have more service centers than we did a year ago or 2 years ago. Obviously, it's also affected the way we work. So there was initially the need of the raw basic needs of food and clothing sort of become greater, and to some extent we had to step back from some of the therapeutic work. I think we've pushed back into that because the therapeutic side is absolutely critical. But right now in level 4 we're back to this stage of we can't do group meetings, etc. So that's all having to be done carefully online, which is tricky when you've got people who don't have access themselves to that kind of technology. But we make a plan. So we continue with the group sessions, with the individual sessions we do with people. We continue to run our shops, and those have done well. So it's affected us in some ways adversely and in some ways positively. Yeah, so some of the expansion we've been doing is great. We've just opened or recently opened a service centre in Muizenberg. So a service centre is where people on the street can come as kind of first phase, get food, clothing, and be part of the Ignite program, which moves them on. Muizenberg and Mitchell's Plain are new. We're looking at the moment, we're working with a group in Simonstown to start some work in Simonstown. We have a partnership with Loaves and Fishes in Observatory, which we are now putting a staff member in there. So there's a bit of expansion on those sides. And we will continue to expand as we can, as there's funding, because the need is getting bigger and bigger. As well as that, we've just opened we're in the process of opening a new warehouse. So our shops, Uturn shops, up until now have sold mostly clothing. We've now introduced furniture, bric-a-brac, and that kind of thing. So the warehouse we've now rented in Parow on Footrecker Road is going to enable us to get furniture donations, get all kinds of new stock. So that's an exciting development for us, and the way people at St James could help and be involved would literally be to start to donate that kind of thing as well as clothing. And we're also opening some new stores. We've got a loan funding to do that, so we'll be opening 4 more stores in the next little while. Always we appreciate people coming and donating clothing, donating items, or coming and buying from the stores. That's not so. It does generate funds for Uturn, but that's not its primary purpose. Its primary purpose is actually to provide sheltered employment for people on our program. So if you go into a Uturn store like the one here in Claremont on Imam Haran Road, you're going to see guys there who they'll help you, they'll serve you, they'll be at the till, they'll do what floor assistants would do. Those guys used to be on the streets. They pulled their lives together. They're moving on, and so being in the shop is an opportunity for them to learn the skills of being in the working world, the labour market. So that's the primary purpose of those shops is that, and then obviously it provides income for those guys, and it provides some income for you too.
Great. Well, John, thank you so much for your time. Wish you all the best. Well done. You guys are doing really well.
Thank you.